We are live. Hello, everybody. All right, y'all know how this works. First, I gotta go make sure it is working. And that means I have to refresh this thing. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm wearing a onesie.
You're good.
Okay, so now I've got to go share it on the thing. Refresh Twitter. Now we're going to retweet. Woot woot. Okay, I think that's all I have to do on my end. Yeah, yes, guys, we are live. I need to make sure it actually retweeted. Yes, okay. I retweeted it. Let's double check Facebook. I always am paranoid that it's not going to work, so I have to double check everything. This right here is going to be comments. We might be able to see them. We might not. It's like really small, and I'm always afraid that I can't see something or whatever. So
we'll lean forward and read it.
I did that last week, and I was like, I feel like this is just awkward. Ooh, look, guys, we're live.
Are we really?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, that's exciting.
I got the update. It's finally streaming. So my stream's just a little lagged, which is really entertaining to me, I think. Oh, come on. Did it not?
It's entertaining on the rewatch, too.
No, it doesn't lag there.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. Did it really not load? Okay. Going back to Twitter. Hold on. Un momento. I did retweet it. What is happening? Okay. Yes. Undo the retweet. We're going to retweet again. Yeah. All right. Let's check Facebook one more time. Sorry, y'all. I know this happens every week. It's going to happen, though.
It's all good. We're all patient.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not. Wait, okay. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. 1 second, y'all. All right, let's check. Ah! Stop. That always scares me. Every time. How the heck do I share from here? Oh, y'all. Is it? Oh, no. Stop. That's how I share. Okay. Okay, this is copy to clipboard. Yeah. Now I can just go straight to, not this. This one. Boop, 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 boop. This is so much fun. Episode, just ep 4 of.
I need to get some giant mugs.
Right? I love them.
Those are sweet.
Is live. Oh gosh, I can't spell live worth anything. Live. Now. Go check it out. Okay. We're going to post the link here. Post. Bam. It is updating. Trying to decide whether or not it actually wants to post. Y'all, this onesie is really hot. I'm really warm. Okay. Let's make sure everyone in the screen. Tweet.
You might have to scoot closer here.
Thank you. Okay. All right, y'all. I believe we are good to go. Maybe. Who knows? People know what my Twitter is, right?
It's all good. It's all good. They'll hop on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So now, oh gosh, now I get to go and just start recording, and then we get started.
Fantastic.
Hey y'all, guess what? Welcome to another episode of Liv's Library. Today, I have a special guest, our co-host actually, y'all. This is Jessie.
Hello, everybody.
Jessie's super cool. Jessie is a friend of mine. We've been friends for a while. Yeah. And we hang out a lot, actually. So it works. I'm going to move this so we can actually see, because...
There we go. That's better.
That's
much better.
Yeah. I'm going to make it a little smaller so that I can see both, but then we kind of see where everything is.
Good.
As far as that goes.
Perfect.
All right. So first things first, I was explaining a little bit to Jessie of how this all works. And that means I get to ask you some important questions, okay?
Sweet.
Are you ready for the interview?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So this is the fire speed round. I don't ever know what to call it.
Is this
speed round?
Is this like speed dating?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you have to answer all these questions. You only have a limited amount of time.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
First one is the hardest. Favorite quote.
Favorite quote. You know what? I had Chinese the other night, and I'm going to have to go with my Chinese cookie quote. It was Yoda. There is no try, only do, or something like that.
Do or
I'm
do
going to
not.
mess
There
that
is no
up.
try.
There you go. She knows my favorite quote.
It's one of my favorites for sure. All right, what is your current favorite song?
My current favorite song. For anybody who knows, Glenn Frey from the Eagles just currently passed away, and so I've been listening to a lot of Take It Easy by the Eagles.
Yeah, awesome. All right, what's a unique fact about yourself?
Oh my goodness. Unique fact about myself. I don't know. It's a good question.
You
Speed
have a
round.
limited amount of time.
Unique fact, I love to go fly fishing, and I tie my own flies. How about that?
That's super cool. Very unique because nobody else has said that.
Oh, perfect.
All right. So this is something you have to do towards the camera. Sorry, podcast listeners. Got to go watch the video for this one. Funny face, go. That is definitely one of my favorite questions to ask for sure. This one also. This one's for the podcast listeners as well.
Uh-oh.
Favorite animal noise. You have to make it.
I can actually make a turkey noise.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
yeah.
not the gobble. It's the other
Okay.
turkey noise.
All
Okay.
right, let's hear it.
Any hunters out there, you'll know it. Okay, hold on.
Wow.
There you go.
That actually sounds like a turkey. Well done. Applause, y'all.
That's quite
Applause.
embarrassing. That's awesome.
Hey, I would like to welcome our first guest. By the way, I was talking about this particular person. Bob Saget, everybody.
Hello, Bob Saget. It's nice to meet you. I enjoy your comedy.
He's one of our comments every time he comes into the show. So we appreciate his watching us every week.
That's awesome.
Okay, 2 more questions to go in this speed round.
Okay.
Favorite cheese.
Favorite cheese? Currently mozzarella.
All right, and then favorite cereal.
I'm gonna have to go with right now probably Lucky Charms.
There you go.
Yeah.
One that I have just recently added because people were like, oh my gosh, it is a library podcast and you're not asking this particular question. So what is your favorite book?
You know, I was actually just looking behind you at all these books. You have a couple that I actually have read here recently, but they aren't amongst my favorites. But I'm gonna pick one of these because it's right behind us anyway. So.
All right.
Right here, The Power of Positive Thinking. I don't know if anybody has read this before, by Norman Vincent Peale. That's a really good book. I really like kind of self-help, self-motivating books, and this is amongst my favorites.
All right. And since you pulled that one out, it is a self-help. No, you're good. It is a self-help book. So for this particular book, how would you say that this book, this is my transition to the topic this week, you guys, how is this book impacted your dating life?
Oh my goodness. My dating life. Well, that is the topic of today. And I guess I should have picked a different book, but I should have picked the Knighthood book that talks about chivalry behind her too. That would have been an easier transition. But this book has a lot about finding happiness inside yourself and how to kind of change your thought process and change your expectations to meet those type of realistic relationships in your life. So it helped me to be able to find happiness inside myself so that I could be happy in a relationship.
Yeah, definitely. So for those of you that watch my channel, you might recognize Jesse because he was actually in one of my videos on my Lives Life channel. It was called, is it Am I Beautiful? I don't remember which one it was.
Don't look for it.
It's really, I personally was very proud of those videos. Mostly because they didn't star me. And so I got to be behind the camera and I got to see what everyone else's thoughts were. But in these videos, I asked some basic questions. Do you remember what those questions were?
Yeah, it's been over a year since that was, but I remember some things. What was the first one? It was like, explain, why you're beautiful or why you think you're beautiful. Or
So the first question was, what is beauty?
What is beauty? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the second question was, based on your definition, do you consider yourself beautiful? And see, you're a guy, and so you're laughing at having the word beautiful to describe you. But then what was your answer in the end?
I believe one of the things, I don't remember verbatim what I said, but I do remember the fact that I talked about Another unique characteristic about myself is I have a birthmark on the side of my face. I don't know if anybody can see it, but it's this red stuff right here. And when she made the question of what is beauty, I remember that I talked about that and how that was a challenge in my life, especially when you're meeting new people and especially kids. Kids are brutal. But that was one thing that I kind of brought out, and how I've been grateful for that kind of physical trait, because it's helped me to be able to see past the skin deep beauty. So.
Yeah, definitely. The reason why I bring that up and I ask that question is just because you mentioned the power of positive thinking, and you mentioned how loving yourself can then help you create a better love for other people.
Definitely.
And I'm such a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in acknowledging your own beauty. And once you acknowledge that you yourself are beautiful and you yourself have a unique personality that makes you a unique kind of beautiful, then you can actually go out and not only can you share that with others, but you can see that in others. And I think that that's so unique and so cool. And for me, it's definitely helped with, I guess, in dating, just because when I go out, I'm able to actually go on a date with a person and get to know them and really be able to see what it is about them that is so beautiful. And I mean, that is with every interaction that I have with people, or at least I try. But definitely that starts with yourself. And so the power of positive thinking and the power of recognizing your own beauty is powerful, because it allows for you to recognize that and see that in others, I think.
I agree that's awesome. I agree completely with that. Definitely.
So now that we've kind of jumped into the subject a little bit, you were reading some really interesting facts. Did you want to start the show with these fun little facts that you were reading through?
Yeah, I'll start off one, and this has been a debate ever since I've been dating my entire life. And it's, I'll just go out there and say it. The question is, do nice guys, in fact, finish last? Everybody says that nice guys finish last. What is I guess the question is in a woman's mind, Olivia, all knowing in women's minds, but in a woman's mind, and think general, not just yourself, but what do women want in a dating relationship? We're not talking about marriage relationship, just a dating relationship. Good guy or bad guy? Go.
I think it's more complicated than just simply saying good guy or bad guy.
Okay.
I feel like in a general sense, when I talk to girls, when I associate with men, when I just kind of am involved in the world a little bit, I'm able to see what people are attracted to. And I feel like a lot of times I'm told, and it kind of goes the same way. Like, I'm told that the good girl is the one that kind of is the prim and the prude, and like nobody really goes after her. and I am not such an outgoing person that I wear a bikini to a dance hall. Like that's just not me. That's not my personality. And I feel like the girls that wear less get asked to dance more. And so in my experience, I've kind of noticed the same thing. But I think in answer to that question, a girl wants to be able to have a good time. A girl wants to be shown a little bit of mystery. And I think a girl wants to be able to feel like they're being chased, but then also feel like they're able to chase back. And that's the thing about, I think, the bad boy, the quote-unquote bad boy, is that the girl's going to be doing a lot of chasing, because that guy is probably not just hanging out with one girl. That guy's probably, pimping around a little bit, to be completely honest. And I feel like where was I going with that?
No, you're good.
Brain explosion a little bit. I feel like not only is the girl going to be chasing, but the guy does chase back a little bit. I feel like when, if the girl is going a little bit out of her way, when she stops making efforts towards him, and then he's like, all right, I'll give her a couple days. She doesn't text me back again. Then I'll let her know that she's wanted still.
Okay.
I'm going to keep you around as my side babe. And I feel like that frequently is the case, because there's a lot of this chase. And because the guy isn't really willing to commit, then he's got that sense of mystery. And typically a guy who's unwilling to commit is more willing to have a little more fun, I think, because he's less afraid of being turned down. He's like, I'm not worried about you saying no to me, because I can get a yes from anybody, because I know how to have a good time without any pressure. And I feel like those are the attributes that in general women find themselves wanting,
Okay.
so that then and a good guy is wanting to commit, is wanting to be like, you know what, like, I'm looking for a relationship. I want you to feel like you're my number one bae. I want you to feel like, I love the word bae,
I
y'all.
love that you just used bae. That was awesome.
It's my favorite. But I really want you to feel like you're my number one bae. I want you to feel like you are my everything. And then sometimes they go a little too fast, they go a little too hard, and so then the girl's like, oh my gosh, 2 hands out, this is a little scary. So I think in answer to your question, maybe that answers it a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. You covered a lot of topics, and some of them I wanted to hit on just a little bit with statistics. Now, I mentioned good guy or bad guy, and I thought it was interesting. I pulled some statistics off of some dating websites. Now, I'm not going to say they're 100% correct. I'm not going to say they're exact, but I think they give some interesting thoughts to the matter. The first one it talks about, and this is on datingmatrix.com. This talks about nice guys versus bad guys. And what it's doing is it polls 444 voters. And it takes 200 characters seen on TV in different movies and different television shows and stuff like that.
I have a feeling I know where this is going to go.
breaks it down. It breaks it down in percentages. Obviously, these percentages overlap because a bad guy might have another trait that falls in this percentage. So they don't add up to 100%, but it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. So of these, here's the only 14% of the characters that women fantasize mostly about from TV shows or movies. Only 14% are considered nice guys by their definition of their character. 86% are considered bad boys. 40% are straight up killers, like Dexter and things like that. 21% are vampires, just vampires. And 33%, now this is interesting because I wore my leather jacket today, 33% wear leather jackets. So whether they're a nice guy, a vampire, a killer, they're wearing a leather jacket, all right? And then 21% wear a suit. So anybody who's watched How I Met Your Mother, suiting up is a true thing that will get you women,
is true.
Apparently.
That is true.
So anything, I thought that was kind of interesting personally.
Oh man, can I just
yes,
sidestep really quick? I'm like getting hot and sweaty right now. I was like, you said TV characters. My mind immediately went to my all-time favorite TV character. And then you go through and you're listing all those things. I'm like, yep. Okay, so for those of you, maybe you're familiar with it a little bit. Vampire Diaries.
Okay, that's number 1 on the list for anybody who's wondering. Vampire Diaries is number 1.
Damon Salvatore, absolutely.
Okay, no joke. I have to show this. Number 1.
Put it closer to the camera.
Sorry.
No, closer.
Closer? Okay. Number 1, who is it? It's Damon Salvatore from Vampire Diaries.
Oh my gosh.
Continue.
Okay, so here is, I was thinking about it and I was like, I gotta qualify why I like this guy. Because it's true, of the 2 brothers, Stefan's the one. Okay, first of all though, Stefan was a total creep. He was a lot like Edward in Twilight, because he totally stalked her for ever. And then he enrolls in the same flipping high school. He knew her when she was a kid. I'm like, who is this creep? Okay, so first of all.
Okay, first off, I've never seen it in my entire life. I'm just kidding. I wish I could admit I have. I've never seen Vampire Diaries.
That's okay. You're
so I'm out of this conversation as of right now.
It's a really good, I would say it's a good storyline through the first couple seasons, and then it really goes off. But here's
go ahead. Sorry.
So I was sitting there and you're reading wears a leather jacket, dresses up in a suit. Well, dresses up in a suit is Klaus, which also everybody loves. So, and Klaus is the ultimate bad guy on that show, so it's okay. But he's considered a bad guy. He's a killer. He's a vampire, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so, I'm sitting there thinking about this, and I'm like, the one redeeming quality he has, and I think this is why sometimes people go for the bad guy, is because women also want to feel like they can fix something. And they want to be able to find that redeeming quality. I feel a lot of women want to have the same idea of being able to find beauty that I do, being able to see beauty in everything. And that's something that I've fallen into a couple times, where looked for the beauty and looked for the goodness in someone and let myself get drawn into a situation which was not necessarily the best situation.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So sorry to sidetrack.
No, it's
but
okay.
I always wondered this. Why do women tend to pick up fixer-upper projects in men? So they find these men. Let me just call it out. It's the Beauty and the Beast syndrome, I call it. It's a woman finds a man who is very attractive, who seems to be a nice guy. He's a little rough on the edges, and she thinks, "Oh, I can fix him. Just give me a shot. I'll fix him." Why is that? Why do women love to fix men?
Because they want to be able to say they can.
Oh.
That is genuine.
So is it a prideful thing?
I think a little bit it is.
Okay.
Like, sorry, ladies. This disclaimer really quickly. Everything said in this episode
Thank
is
you.
our personal opinions.
Thank you.
This has nothing to do with anything else. I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm trying really hard to just. Bob was tired of the Damon comments. He told me to shut up. Sorry, Bob. We're done. I feel like women want to be able to say they can fix something, and being able to say, I did it. To be able to be that one exception to the rule. Like, everyone's like, oh no, you can't fix someone. Like, if they're broken, they're gonna stay broken.
Mm-hmm.
But women always want to be able to say, no, I'm the one that was the exception to the rule.
Yeah. Okay.
And you hear that all the time. Women want to be the exception to the rule. They want to be considered, the all get out, whatever. But like, I think that's probably why.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good
And
point.
to be completely honest, I don't know either. I get into those relationships. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is not a good thing. This is not healthy for me. It's not healthy for you. Like, this is not, no.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to throw some of these out here for anybody who is watching or listening still. These are some of the characteristics, the top characteristics still, right? Sorry. These are some of the top characteristics that women find attractive in a man, okay? And the first one is smart, okay? Smart. That's right. Romantic, okay? The next one I think is interesting. Damaged is number 3.
Sorry, Bob.
Third one, manly.
Damage.
And then rebellious, okay? And then last, or not last, there's a lot of characteristics, but the next one is womanizer. So,
What?
so smart, romantic, damaged, manly, rebellious, and womanizer. Of those, just 5 or so that I threw out there, 3 of them I think are pretty bad characteristics. If you say that man's a womanizer, it usually tends to be a bad thing. But for some reason, and now this is only 444 people they're women, single women that were polled. So we can't generalize this across the board. But it gives an interesting thought that damaged, womanizer, and rebellious were 3 of the top, 5 or 6 that I read that are on that list. So just some food for thought. So generally, do nice guys finish last? I don't know if that is the case, but women definitely enjoy having a little bit of a bad side to their men.
I can see that. I feel like maybe kind of going into the word damaged, I think the one reason why damaged would be in there so high up is because women realize that they're not perfect.
Okay.
And they like a man who is less perfect than they are. If a woman has some bad qualities, maybe they're looking for someone who will justify their bad qualities and maybe make them still feel just a little higher up on the totem pole.
That's an interesting thought. I never thought about that.
I don't know. That was just a thought that popped into my head as we were going. So
Cool. I like that.
thanks. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
And it kind of goes along. Well, I mean, it's a completely different thing, but I want to know, why is it? I mean, it's kind of a similar thing. Why is it that when I go dancing, for example, I wear jeans and a nice T-shirt? You know what? They might be a little form-fitting, and I definitely look good, and I know how to move. Like
Confidence is there, everybody.
Guys,
confidence is there.
I used to compete a little bit with dancing, so I definitely know what I'm doing as far as it comes to dancing, and I know that I look good, especially if I'm wearing a black shirt and some skinny jeans. Like,
okay.
I know I look good. So I stand there and I wait for guys to ask me to dance. They don't ask me to dance. So I find a guy I know who's a good dancer, and I ask him to dance, and we'll go out and we'll have a great time. And then I get all the creeps asking me to dance, but no normal guy. And all the normal guys are like guys that I have come to know and become friends with, who are quote unquote more normal guys.
Okay.
They're always asking the girls who are dressed like skanks. I'm sorry, women, but it's true. Like, if you dress that way, you are being labeled by some as skanks. And I guarantee that guys are asking you to dance because they get to touch your skin.
I got to be really careful on how I answer this. First off, like Olivia said, my opinion does not generalize all men's opinion, but I think I know where you're going with this. You know, let me say your question. Let me rephrase your question to make sure I understand it. You're asking me, why do normal, quote unquote, normal men ask the girls with less clothing on to dance?
Especially when they're saying that they want a girl who dresses and covers more.
Okay. I'm just going to be bold and say something. If it gets me into trouble in future, if I ever run for, political office or something, you can use it against me. But men are all wired the same way. Okay. The first thing that attracts men to a woman is what they look like physically. That is the very first thing that attracts a man to a woman. Obviously, after you've engaged in conversation or gone out on a date or spent time together, there's other things that deepen that love or that relationship, if you will. I think that the initial attraction is what catches their eye, but the qualities that are deeper, such as personality traits, interests, things like that, that's what really roots a relationship and makes it stronger. But that first impression, unfortunately, men are all wired the same. We all think very similar ways when it comes to attraction. And unfortunately, men are attracted to women that, you can lie, okay? All men can lie and say, no, I'm not attracted to that girl that's wearing, the short skirt or the short shorts or that. He might not be long-term attracted to her, but I guarantee for that instant he was attracted to her. So I think it's hard because in a dance setting like that where you're to dance, all you have is that first impression. There's not unless you're at a bar or something like that, you don't have a side spot where you can go get a conversation going and actually get interested in that person. So I think if you're just in a dance type setting, that men are going to be drawn and driven by that first initial attraction point. And unfortunately, I think in a lot of cases, men give in and they want to dance with the girl that they initially see as the most attractive. Not saying that you're not attractive or not saying that other girls aren't, but there's definitely something wired in a man's brain to ask somebody to dance first. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does, okay. and it makes sense. And it's kind of the answer I already knew. But
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I wanted to hear from someone I respect and someone that I do
thank you.
Appreciate having these kind of conversations with. It's frustrating. But I mean, it's frustrating for you to be the good guy and to feel like you're finishing last and feel like you have to turn into a douche to be able to get a date.
Hey, she said it. I didn't. So.
I don't know. So I think I'm just going to check really quick. Okay, so here we go. Someone said, yes, Bob, it is a generalized statement. We are kind of generalizing a little bit. It's definitely not true all the time. Jake says, I think it's about atmosphere as well. If you meet someone at the club and you're going to be looking at them a little different compared to meeting them at a church.
There you go.
So I would definitely agree with you. That is true. Okay,
now I have a question, and I think I'm going to throw that out there for everybody to answer and kind of chime in as you're listening out there or watching or whatever you're doing. Let's see, where do you think is the best place to meet people that you date? Now, some people are online and do things like Tinder or farmersonly.com. Don't lie. We've all been on there just to see what it's like. Farmersonly.com. Don't lie. We've all been on there to see what it's like.
I've never been on that website.
Okay, let me rephrase. Men have been on farmersonly.com to see how it is. Now, where's go ahead and answer anywhere in the bottom. Where do you prefer to go to meet people? I know quite a few people that I've talked to recently that are you know, they're a little bit frustrated. They've tried the online thing. They've tried, you know, different, you know, what do you want to call social media areas to find people. But where do you, people listening, watching, whatever.
People of the internet.
Exactly. Where do you go to find people? Now, you comment and...
Yeah, comment and we'll try and watch them. Definitely post them fast so that we can read them. We're going to talk about where we like to meet people
Yes.
while they're going, and then I'll try and catch them and throw them in as we go. Comments need to come up fast. Remember, we are are on a little bit of a lag.
Oh.
So they see it about probably 30 seconds after we say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's why it's going to take a second, but then they will pop up.
All right, Olivia, I'll ask that question to you. Where do you prefer to meet people? Go ahead.
I have interests, and so those interests take me different places. For
Okay.
example, dancing. I think it's really great to meet someone who's a good dancer because I enjoy dancing. And so if I can find someone who's a good dancer and who enjoys it, then that means that when we get together, when we're in a relationship, or if we get married, we're going to be able to continue go dancing. Like there's this one couple that goes dancing all the time at this one place that I go, and they're married. They've been married for a couple years, and they come every week. And they have such great chemistry. They've learned how to work really well with each other. They do like trust fall lifts and dips and things. I mean, it's crazy to watch. I could sit there and just watch them for the majority of the evening because they're so much fun to watch.
Okay.
I feel like I'm at a dance performance. So for me, it's not necessarily one specific place, but I prefer to go to places where I'm going to find people with the same type of interests.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think that's awesome. I think if you do have those, you know, interests and things like that that you can use to find people, dancing, you know, I don't know, sports, things like that. If you can use those to find people, I think that really helps you to be able to start off a relationship on a very similar foot, you know, and already kind of get that deeper relationship than just, hi, what's your name type thing. So I agree. I personally, I don't know. I meet people about everywhere. I go, obviously, but I don't know if I have a particular place I like to meet people. And that's why I asked the question to you as a woman, just to kind of see what your thoughts are. I know a lot of people who currently use the internet in one way or another, whether it be Tinder or LDS singles
Or even Facebook.
Or even Facebook, yeah, exactly. And I think it's interesting because I like statistics, and before Olivia asked me to be on here, the only experience I'd had with a podcast or anything like that is BYU Sports Nation. So I apologize, but I have to throw out some more statistics. So I thought this was an interesting statistic here. And this was put out.
Before you read, do you mind if I read some of the comments? that are
Yeah,
going
please.
okay?
Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, so I've got a couple different comments going about who likes to meet people where. Some chick says, Tinder is a nightmare. Best place to meet? Bob Saget says, the Vatican. Some chick responded and said, the Institute is a good place. Sometimes just because there are a lot of some weirdos.
Okay, no, we're not. For anybody who doesn't know the context of that, it's not like an insano asylum institute.
Yeah.
It's an institute of religion.
Yeah, Institute. Bob actually asked that a little lower down. He says, what is the Institute? The Institute that is being referred to here, I'm assuming, oh, yep, she said the LDS Institute. So it's like a club on a university campus of religion and teach religious classes. And so people of the same religion or same religious belief systems are able to go together. So that's what that is. Some chick, Bob responded to some chick and said, I know multiple people that found loving relationships on Tinder. So there you go. Tinder can work. I actually know someone else who found their husband on Tinder. So that's kind of cool. It can work. Someone said Union Station is tricky because it's not clear who is who. Union Station is a dance hall close to here that can be done. It's really nice to meet people on campus. If you're going to the same school, that's really true. It's really nice to meet people after a party on the bench in front of the Institute.
That's a very specific, very specific
well,
location.
Chick, are you going to explain a little bit?
I'm sure she will.
But really, though, I think it sounds like everyone's kind of saying the same thing. More or less, find things that you're generally interested in. If you're interested in really good-looking people, get on Tinder, because you're going to find people who think you're cute, and you're going to think they're cute, and then you match up, and it's like match made in heaven because you're both really cute.
Hey, you know
So it
what?
works.
And I know one of my best friends, he met his wife on Tinder. And they have been very happy. And, you know, he had been previously married before, and she hadn't. But they have a very successful relationship. And obviously, they're just newlyweds, so they're still figuring things out. But they're really happy. On the flip side, I have another friend who is having a really difficult time with his marriage from Tinder. So I think, you know, as everything else, be cautious, good and bads. But the statistic I'm going to read is kind of interesting. It came from a book called Sex in America, A Definitive Survey. And in this, it says that 63% of couples, married couples that is, meet from a network of friends or family members. So, hey, I have a friend, I want to set you up. Or, hey, my sister-in-law's best friend wants to go on a date with you. So if you're interested in meeting people to get married to, this survey states that you need to be dating friends of friends of friends or whatever, just kind of networking through your friendships. So I thought that was interesting too.
I would agree with that. Some of my best relationships that I've had thus far, guys that I've really gotten along with, guys that I could have potentially seen a future with, I've met through friends. So I mean, some of them I've been dating that friend at the time, and when we broke up, later on, I was reintroduced to someone that I had already met through that person, and we were able to establish a friendship and then go a little further. So I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree with that. I feel like that's where you know that you're in a safe zone. I feel like, you know, if your friend trusts this person and you trust your friend, then the likelihood of you having a fairly good relationship and a good shot at love, that is pretty high.
I agree completely.
Cool.
Any more thoughts here we want to read? It looks like
Friends are a good way too. Yep, that's a good point. It looks like a lot of people are just saying places where you can meet people with similar values and similar interests and standards.
awesome. Totally agreed. Except for me, it's hard to meet people on the river fly fishing. So,
Well, then that's where you just be like, hey, do you like the outdoors? Come fly fishing with me. Or, you know what you do is you just find a group of people and take them all camping. Plan a camping trip and just invite a bunch of different people. You would find some people. Okay, first of all, you get to know certain people and realize that they absolutely hate camping.
oh my
And
goodness.
you get to see other people, and you get to see how much they are able to make the best out of a weird situation.
Hey, you know what? I have had those experiences where you go camping with people. I'll tell you what. You know, I had a good friend tell me one time you need to spend 4 seasons, all the 4 seasons, and go on a road trip with somebody in order to find out if you really want to be in a relationship with them. And I think a camping trip also works as the vacation
I
because
would agree.
you find out a lot about people that you didn't previously know. It's kind of fun.
Oh man. Yep, truth there. Okay, so here is a question for you.
Uh-oh.
And I think you might actually be thinking the same question at some point in this conversation. Text or phone call?
Text or phone call. Now that's interesting because, you know, I do have some more statistics on texting and phone calls, and so I'll get to those. But personally, I've always been a believer in, you know, kind of the more chivalrous behavior, and that being kind of, you know, more respectful. I found it more respectful and more just manly, if you will, just to call. Honestly, you get a girl's phone number, you call her, you ask her out on a date, you kind of get to know her a little bit before you actually see the person, if it's a blind date or if it's set up through a friend or whatever. And even if you stalked them on Facebook, and don't, you know, everybody's done it. Come on, we all Facebook stalk. So I think a phone call really helps to break down barriers. Not only is it a respectful thing towards a woman, but I also think that it helps you to kind of ease the tensions of the first date, to get to know each other and hear their voice and get to some of those interests out of the way at first, so then during your date you can kind of build on those conversations. So that's what I think. But let me ask you, and then the same question, and then I'm gonna find a statistic that I think is kind of funny.
Okay. I prefer phone call. Oh my gosh. Anybody who knows me at all knows that I am terrible at texting. Guys, I have come home from work and from like hanging out with friends or doing whatever the heck I was doing that night to coming home and having like 20 text messages on my phone, and those text messages are from the last 3 days. So I mean, like, I don't check my text messages. I'll show you my phone really quickly. This is my phone. Look, my cute sister is on my screen with me. I get the little notification right here along the top, and it says, oh, you have a message. Oh, you have an email. I'm like, it bothers me to have that on the screen. So I swipe them all away. But as soon as I swipe them away, I forget all about them. And then when I log into my phone, I go to my messages, and you'll notice I still have one unread message that I haven't looked at. I'm getting better. That was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to actually check my messages. But I absolutely hate texting. I hate texting because it is just, I feel it's so impersonal. It's so easy to misinterpret. It is really scary to me to text because I feel like I could be reading something completely different than what was intended.
Yeah.
Funny story, my sister was actually sending a text to a guy she was interested in yesterday. She was just telling him that he did a really good job at something that he had done recently that she had been able to listen to. He had given a presentation, and she was able to listen to that presentation. And later on, she wanted to text him and just be like, hey, you did a good job. Like, well done. But she spent 40 minutes, no joke, at the dinner table with my mom and I, helping her know exactly what to say, because she was like, I don't know, this is so scary, blah, blah. And we're like, put a smiley face in there. She's like, no, a smiley face is like, hey. And we're like, no, a smiley face is just being friendly. It's like you would smile if you were saying this in real life. So I mean, like, we had to break down every word, every comma, every like anything, like really, we did. And we also worked out how long the message was. It took 40 minutes for her to send this text message. And then when he responded, he was just like, haha, thanks. And it's like, now she's a little disappointed because she put so much thought into it, and he said, haha, thanks. And then she thinks, oh my gosh, to see, it's complicated.
It's
on the phone because it's just awesome. So there you go.
Okay. I agree. Overthink texting one another and how the other one's going to interpret it. But what I thought was interesting, like I said, these are statistics. This one's from .com. So in no way, shape, or form am I going to say that this is the general populace believes this, especially in our culture here. We're in Utah, and we tend to have a different dating culture than a lot of places. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the number one first date activity on this list, separate from this, was drinking coffee. Well, it's not the most popular thing for here in Utah, but this is going back to the texting. This question asks how women like to be first contacted after they just met a guy. So this says, like I said, this is pickupmatrix.com. It says that 73% of women preferred texting as their first form of conversation after they've already met the person, as opposed to phone call. Now, phone call picks up 19%, 6% on Facebook, and then 2% on other form of messaging apps. So, you know, pickupmatrix.com, I don't know, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but
I actually have an answer for this.
All right, let's hear it.
So if I first meet a guy and I give him my phone number, first of all, I don't have his number. So if he calls me, he's leaving me a voicemail because
you don't pick it up.
I don't pick it up.
Okay, makes sense.
I use my phone a lot for work, and so I don't want to be like, hey, what's up? And then it's like, oh, I was calling for, you know, the wedding planning business. It's like, oh, sorry, yeah, this is me. I screen all my calls. If I don't know who it is, I definitely don't answer. Even if I know who it is, if I'm in a position where I cannot answer, I tell people to leave me a message, and I definitely will call back. So I do prefer text because then they can say, like I always say, hey, shoot me your name, like either give me a call or send me a text telling me what your name is so I can put you on my phone. And it's not that I'm wanting a full conversation, but I do want to know who it is.
Who it is.
And then after a date, I always think it's polite to shoot a text and say, hey, thanks, I had a good time, you know, or whatever. It's really nice. And I think it's polite to send a text, especially as the girl, when I'm normally getting dropped off at home and then the guy is still driving, for him to be able, when he gets home, to be able to see a text, oh, okay, she did have a good time. I'm glad, like, no stress, you know?
Yeah,
So-
I agree. It is nice when you're a guy and you've gone through, planning a date or whatever, and it's the first date or one of the first few dates. It's nice to get that text that says, "Hey, thanks, had a good time, hope you made it home safe," or something like that. I really appreciate that personally. So
Yeah, I feel
Good
like
thought.
maybe that's where that. I don't know, and obviously not me, but.
perfect. Just reading the comments.
Bob. Bob says, "I wish that I had Jesse's girl."
Yes, that is my name.
He
And I-
says, "Sorry, Jesse. I'm sure you get that a lot."
Yeah, no, I do get that a lot. Who was it that said that?
Bob Saget.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Also, some chick says he does anyway. So apparently, some chick knows who you are.
Some chick. Oh yeah, and I think I know who some chick is too.
Love you, girl. If you know they have your number and you know they are, I always try to call first, and then I might send a text to give more info. Okay, yeah, and I feel like that's very considerate of you to give a phone call first and then like leave a message or send a text saying like, "Hey, I was gonna ask you on a date. Give me a call back so I can ask you formally or whatever."
Okay, now here's another conversation that has to do with, getting back in touch with somebody. Okay, you just went on the first date with somebody. You're really interested in them. Okay. I have always asked this question to my friends. After that first date, how long do you wait to call, to text, to ask out again? Okay, that is the question. So first date, you go out with somebody, you have a great time. Now the guy, he's responsible for getting back in touch with the girl. How long do you, as a woman, want a man to wait to get in contact with you, either through phone call or text?
That's really difficult, I think. If I send a text saying, "Thanks so much for the date," I appreciate it if a guy says, like, "I had a great time." If at the end of the date, the guy said, "I had a great time, let's do this again sometime," or the girl says that,
Okay.
that is okay, first of all, if the girl says that, she's saying, "I am interested, ask me out again." And then the guy has, maybe a week, possibly 2 at the longest, to ask her out again before
Okay.
she probably goes on another date with someone else and then kind of forgets about you. Like that is true. And I think that if the girl didn't say that, but she sent a text, then you can respond and you could say, "Would you be interested in going out again sometime?" That allows for her to be like, for her in a text, so it is a little less confrontational and allows for a little more thought, so it can be a little more tactful. Then she can say, "Yeah, for sure." Or she can say, "You know what, I had a great time, I really did, but I just don't see it going anywhere further. Let's just be friends." Well, however you want to say
Yeah,
that.
that's going to get me onto another question afterwards. So hold
Okay.
that thought too.
And that's just, I feel like maybe that, I would say if you were given the green light to ask her out again, within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to read the statistics and then I'm going to tell what I think.
Cool.
Sounds good? Sorry, I like statistics.
I think they're
I'm
really
a sports
interesting.
guy. I like statistics.
He
It's just
put
what
in
happens.
so much effort here.
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. But it seems like I did. There's a dating, little dating hint for men. Make it seem like you put more effort into it than you actually did and they really like it, right?
Yes,
Done.
that's true.
So this one says, so there's 2 statistics simultaneously. Okay, the
Mhm.
first one is going to be how long it takes for men to get back in touch with a girl after the first date. And the one together with it is when women prefer that the men get back in touch after the first date. That make sense?
Sorry, I was not.
No, you're good.
listening.
I know you weren't, but they were. So as I explain it, you'll get it, okay? The same night, okay, 16% of men will get back in touch after that first date with the woman, okay?
The same night.
That same night, okay? 13% of women prefer that men get back in touch with them that same night. So doing the whole text me when you get home, or hey, I had a good night, okay? 16% of men actually do that, and 13% of women prefer that, okay? Now, what about the next day, 24 hours later? 49% of men get back in touch with women the following day, whether it be a text or a phone call, anything like that. And 46% of women prefer a 24-hour follow-up as opposed to an immediate or a extended follow-up, okay? And then after that, the statistics drop drastically. 14% of men do 2 days later, and 30% of women prefer 2 days later. But then after 2 days, guys, you're hopeless. Women lose interest. It says that after 2 days, only 6% of women prefer a 3-day, and 4 days plus is 5% of women. And then after a week, it says the woman is likely to not be interested in that person.
And it's true because she forgets the Twitter patient that she felt on the date. And I think when I was responding to your, that's kind of what I was thinking. If you
Okay.
ask her on a date, you have to go on a date within a 2-week period of time.
Within a 2-week period.
Yes.
Cool.
So I think definitely you need to talk within that first couple days. If you don't talk to her, then she's not going to think you're interested. And she will lose interest because she can talk you down real easy.
All right, man. You've heard it from a woman herself. So get back in contact within the first day and ask out within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
would definitely say if you ask a girl on a date, though, don't wait 10 days before you talk to her about that date. This is something that I've experienced. And it's frustrating. And then I forget the date, and then it's a miserable thing.
We've all been there.
It happened to me a couple times. And so it's an irritating thing because then I don't feel like that guy cares.
Yeah.
And then I don't feel like caring back. I mean, that's a sad way to put it.
No, but it makes
But
perfect
if I don't
sense.
feel like you're putting effort into me, why on earth would I put effort and emotion into you?
Yeah, no.
And vice versa. I mean, if I'm not putting effort into it, why on earth would you continue to put forth the effort?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So thank you for answering my question that I had.
Okay, so we have time for one more question, a little more conversation.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, ask me.
No, you had another question.
I
so
did.
I'll let you go with it.
Oh my goodness. No, that was the question. I can find another question.
Did you have
Goodbye.
one about the I don't remember. You told me to hold that thought.
Oh, I don't remember what it was. Anyways, we'll rewind it and at some point. And remember
know what?
it was.
If you guys enjoyed Jesse here tonight, I think we are going to end the episode here then.
That's fine.
If you enjoyed Jesse being on this podcast tonight, leave it in the comment section. Thank you so much for everyone in the live comments. I really do appreciate you. If you did enjoy Jesse, go over, subscribe to this channel so you can see more podcasts. Put in the comment section of this actual video, as soon as this video, we stop broadcasting live, you are able to go and leave a comment on the actual video. Go thumbs up if you like Jesse, and also comment below and let us know what you want to talk about, what you want us to talk about either on next week's podcast or the next time I have this guy on this channel.
Fantastic. Thank you, Olivia, for having me on.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so super exciting. Thank you for everybody that watched, and yeah, keep watching this girl. She's pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so we end this podcast every time with one final question. You ready for this final question?
Oh.
This is the most important question of the week. What is your weekly obsession?
My weekly obsession?
In this last week, what have you been most obsessed with?
Oh my goodness, Kate. This is going to make me sound really, really, I want to use a word, but I don't want to use it. It's going to make me sound really,
Cliche.
yeah. I've made a goal, and I didn't make a New Year's resolution. I made before New Year's resolution, so I could start beforehand. But I've been going to the gym quite a bit. And so this last week, I put a lot of time, and the last few weeks, I put on a lot of time of going to the gym and just kind of working on my own self-confidence. And it's really boosted my, not only my self-image, but it's also boosted inside of me how I feel about myself personally. Not just on the outside, but inside. And so this last week, my little guilty pleasure is about every hour to hour and a half in the evening going to the gym and just having a little bit of me time to work out. So there you go.
That's awesome. And guys, it definitely showed too. I mean, I get to see this guy every day, and it's definitely noticeable. So I want to make sure you know that.
Oh my goodness. Stop. Stop.
My weekly obsession, you guys, is much less. It's much more trivial. I heard this song on the radio, I think Thursday or Friday, so it hasn't even been a full week. But I barely heard this song, and it is absolutely, I think I've listened to it 100 times. It is Monday, and I heard it Thursday or Friday.
I'm a little worried.
It is called Stressed Out by 21 Pilots, and I am obsessed. I love this song. It is so good.
Haven't heard it.
I feel like it talks so much to me because
Stressed out.
there's a part of the song. I mean, he kind of has a little rap section where he says, we used to play pretend, call each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at our face saying, wake up, you need to make money. And this is the little rap there. I have the whole song memorized now.
I don't
but
doubt that.
I think that speaks so much to me. I'm like, man, I used to dream of so much stuff, and I used to like really just, I used to be such a child at heart and just had so much like love for life and excitement for living. And now for me, like every morning without fail, the alarm goes off and it's like, wake up, you need to make money. And then I like jump out of bed. I try and put a little bit of makeup on my face so I look semi-presentable. Guys, I've stopped putting on as much makeup as I used to because it is so early in the morning.
She doesn't need it. It's fine.
You have definitely noticed this.
No, she doesn't need it. She's fine.
But I mean, really, so I love this song. I'm very obsessed with this song because I think it speaks very much to me and the way that my life is. And it's like, one part of the song is just like, wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mamas used to sing us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. And it's like, that's how I feel. And so, I mean, it's so good. I'm very obsessed with the song. So go check it out. It's amazing.
I'm going to go listen to it.
I will play it for you as soon as I get
Okay,
this
sounds
because
good.
it's really good. Okay, you guys.
What?
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
What?
Bob Saget's weekly obsession is to be a liver on this show. Everybody is hashtag livers. Guys, I'm so glad. So glad I have so many livers.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either. I very much enjoy that though. Well, for all of you livers, I guess I'm going to call you that from now on. Yeah, my posse. For all my livers out there, guess what? I have a brand new, this is my exciting announcement. I meant to announce at the beginning of this episode that I had an exciting announcement at the end, but I'm pretty sure I forgot. So I have a very exciting announcement. I have a new posting schedule for my Liv's Live, no, this is Liv's Library, for my Liv's Life channel on YouTube. So if you search Liv's Life, Liv''S Life, you can go and you can see some of my videos that I've done. The one that I talked about with him in it is on there, as well as a couple others. And we'll be making some new posts here in the future. I'm so excited. So first of all, starting in 4 days, on Friday, I'm going to be posting the first Fitness Friday.
Oh.
And what I'm going to be doing every Friday is I'm going to be weighing in. I'm going to let you know where I am on my goal. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my goal, what I weigh, what I'm doing to do that. And then for the last like 3 or 4 minutes of the particular episode that I'm shooting, I will be learning a new workout or a new exercise. I don't know how to do push-ups. So I'm going to have someone teach me how to do push-ups.
I can
There you go. So Jesse's going to be there to teach me how to do push-ups. I'm going to have to wear a brace because I hurt my wrist a long
You're
time
good.
ago.
I wear brace symbol.
There you go. So yeah, definitely that's what's happening here. I'm so excited. So that's Friday. On Saturday, service Saturday. I will be posting a video Saturday morning encouraging you to go out and do a specific act of service. Some Saturdays I will post a video telling you exactly what you're supposed to go do. And then I'm super excited to be able to go out in the community and see other people participating in this. I will also be live tweeting kind of throughout the day on different breaks that I have. I work on Saturdays, which means that I have a limited amount of time to do these particular services, but I'm still going to do that, and I'm still going to be tweeting out a little bit on just different breaks that I have to just encourage you guys throughout the day to do that particular act of service. So make sure that you guys are tuning in on Saturdays, both to my Twitter, which is Livy Dawn, and then also to my YouTube channel, which is Liv's Life. On Sunday, we have One Take Sunday. So I will be doing somewhere between a 7 to 12 minute video where I just sit and I talk to the camera without any editing, without any filters, without any music, and I will just talk to you about life and different things. Occasionally it will be a one take vlog where you'll get to see a little bit into my life and my home. I'm currently living at home with my family, and I am the oldest of 10 kids. So you might get to see a little bit of my siblings and my parents in those videos. So I'm really excited about One Take Sundays. I do have some goals for Wednesday in the future, but for right now, we're just going to stick with Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So don't forget, one more time, that's Fitness Friday. I will be telling you a little bit about what my progress is. This first week, it's going to be a little introduction to me, what my goals, what my fitness and health goals are, and then I will be telling you what I weigh, which I'm a little embarrassed about. So this is very scary for me, but I'm going to do it. And I'm doing it because I need to be held accountable, and you all are going to hold me accountable to this. Saturday, Service Saturday, make sure you tune in, and then Sunday is One Take Sunday. So that is everything. Those are my posting schedule. I'm so excited, guys. I've been working on this for a long time, and I'm so excited to finally get started. I will be posting vlogs too. I'm planning on going on a short trip every month, and I will be doing a vlog of some kind for every month and posting that. So here, this Wednesday, I believe, I'll be posting the vlog from my Disneyland trip that I did at the beginning of this month. So I'm excited to finally be posting that. So there you go. You can keep an eye out for those vlogs. They'll kind of just come whenever I have it done, but they will come before the end of the week, or before the end of the month.
Cool.
So you can keep an eye out for those. Anyway, thanks so much, you guys. I absolutely adore you. Remember, smile, stay beautiful, and know that I love you. Mwah!
Bye, everybody.
And stop the